10-point must scoring system. It must remain in effect, and they would not back down, so the WBC president did. And so we'll go with the 10-point must system of scoring today. There'll be no secondary backup system of scoring, so it is conceivable that we could have another draw, though not likely. Both are primed and ready for it. Let's take a look in the dressing room of young Milton McCrory now. He's 21 years of age, top ranked by the WBC. Only the draw by Jones scars his pro record. Hopefully he has regained the full use of his right hand. It has been sore and painful for him for better than a year. Across the way, in the dressing room of the Welshman Colin Jones, second-ranked, historically a slow starter, redoubled his efforts in training with the aim of putting pressure on the Ranger McCrory from the first bell today, something he did not do last March. In the early going, it was all McCrory. He dominated Jones, using his superior height and reach. He's a busy fighter, piled up a lot of points. Jones with a history of starting slowly, and this fight was no exception for him. He was consistently beaten to the punch. But midway through the fight, he started to make a move, became more aggressive. McCrory tired. Here in round 9, Jones had McCrory hurt and in trouble. It looked like the underdog was really on his way to a huge upset. Now, in addition to fatigue, Milton McCrory was bothered some by pain in his right hand. He had re-injured that right hand in an earlier round. Then in the 12th and final round, McCrory reached inside of himself, found the courage, found the strength, and worked a series of combinations to win the round in the opinion of most observers. As you will hear, even Jones gave McCrory the 12th round, but 2 of the 3 judges scored it even, and it caused a decision that rattled all the way across the Atlantic.
115.
Let's remember it for just a moment.
115 for Colin Jones. It's even a draw.
Note the expression on McCrory's face. One judge scored it for Milt, one for Jones, one had it even. Milt was obviously crushed. Jones satisfied by the decision, actually, so the title remained vacant. And in recent months, both fighters have been training hard. McCrory working with that injured hand, trying to improve his stamina. It's going to be hot. Jones more confident after his surprising showing, determined to prove the first fight was no fluke. We talked to both fighters about their first meeting and the one we're about to see today. First, Colin Jones.
Well, I'd fairly say that the first half of the fight, or the first 5 rounds at least, I didn't get into it at all. I was very slow started. McCrory boxed well the first 5 rounds until I started getting to him in the 6th round with some body shots, which seemed to take the edge off him. And I thought that I took the next 5 rounds, 5 or 6 rounds, and McCrory pinched the last round, which I think earned him the draw.
So Jones thought he began to take over in the 6th round, but Milt McCrory felt that he was in control until the 8th round.
Well, the first half of the fight, I thought Colin Jones fought defensively. For the first 7 rounds, he just stayed back. He caught a lot of punches, and he never really let his offense go until about the 8th round. Now, from the 8th to around the end of 11th is when Colin Jones became aggressive, and then he stopped winning rounds. But the 12th round, I felt that I got it. I came from deep inside. I thought that I pulled the 12th round out.
I think that the draw was a fair decision, considering that I've come from Wales and I've come to America to try and win the title and take it out of America, which it haven't been out for quite some time now. And I think a draw was a fair decision.
I was surprised at the draw. Yes, I thought the fight was. It wound up being a close margin, but I thought I still had the edge in the fight from the earlier rounds.
Well, I think that this time, I think that I'll try and draw him on a little bit, because I've always had fighters who come on to me, and that's so I've been able to be very fortunate to knock them out.
I think I'll fight like I fought in the earlier rounds. I'll just pick up points. I'll just mostly pick up points. I won't go out looking for no knockout or nothing. And I think I'll use more body attack. I don't think from looking at the 12th round of the fight, I don't think he liked it, the body attack.
Well, that's the history and the attitude of the principals for the rematch to decide the successor of Sugar Ray Leonard as the WBC welterweight champion, and we'll have the fight there. He's 21 years of age. He is trained and managed by Emmanuel Stewart out of Detroit, weighed in at 147 pounds at the official weigh-in. You can see the only blemish on his professional record of the draw with Colin Jones last March. As for the young man from South Wales, He's 24 years of age, lives in Gorsainen. He weighed in at 146.5 pounds. He stands 5'8". McCrory stands just a fraction under 6 feet. He is listed in most places as 6'1", but we've measured him, and he is actually just a fraction under 6 feet. Colin Jones is a former Olympian. He lost in the round of 16 there. The former British and European champion, but he gave those up in order to fight for the WBC title. Isaac Herrera is the referee. He is out of Panama. He does not have a vote. It is a Latin panel. Angel Custodio Tovar of Panama, Rey Solis of Mexico, Anselmo Escobedo of Venezuela. Those are the judges. Those are the gentlemen that will decide the fate of these two men this afternoon. 104 degrees at ringside as we begin the first of 12 scheduled rounds. Milt McCrory will have a reach advantage of approximately 5 inches. In the training process for Colin Jones, he worked on his stamina. He is intent on getting off to a quicker start. Of course, on the other side, the right hand of Milt McCrory. He hurt it really a year ago against Roger Stafford in a fight in Phoenix, Arizona. And since that time, he's had trouble with it. He hurt it again in the fight against Jones up in Reno. And he went flat after the 6th round, with Jones coming on strong in the fight. So it's really a question of whether or not McCrory truly has the right hand back and can bang with it, or whether or not the Welshman with the heavy hands can go to the body early in the fight and try to take some of the speed away from Milt McCrory. The winner will succeed Sugar Ray Leonard as the welterweight champion of the WBC. Donald Curry is the WBA champion, an undefeated youngster out of Fort Worth, Texas. McCrory has thrown the right hand now on 4 occasions with some authority. So he seemed very happy with the way things had gone for him in the final phases of his training and pronounced himself most fit for this rematch against the Welshman. McCrory, always a busy fighter, going back to the times that we saw him as a young amateur. Always busy. Not particularly a banger, but always busy, and will pile up the points on you. The young man from Gorsainen who has done it all, from digging graves to working in coal mines in his home region to support himself and his young family. Glorious opportunity at hand for him, and he is slow to start again today. He is managed and trained by Eddie Thomas, who has had previous world champions in Howard Winston and Ken Buchanan. Eddie Thomas handling the cuts as well. Garth Bevins and Colin Jones' brother Ken is also at ringside, and we're now inside the final minute of this first round, scheduled for 12. Milt McCrory in the gold trunks on the left, and the Welshman with his back to you, Colin Jones. Tough, dogged kind of a fighter. He has been used to fighting in most of his career, fellows who will come at you. Well, McCrory won't necessarily do that. He'll stay away from you, stopping once in a while to bang with you. And I think that's a very important thing for McCrory, as he nailed him. McCrory stepped in, planted himself, and caught Jones right on the button. Colin looks into his corner. We've got about 8 seconds to go in the first round. He looked into his corner. His eyes seemed clear, and the bell. So, Milt McCrory's right hand apparently is back, huh? As Colin Jones goes down right above us at the closing seconds of this first round. Take a look at it. McCrory loads it up, comes over the top with a right hand, following a left hook, and down went Colin Jones. He shook his head vigorously for the first 5 seconds of the count. Then he looked into his corner to Eddie Thomas. He seemed cogent, and he was up easily at the count of 8 and finished the round. So McCrory has to take great heart from that, as Colin Jones now looks about his corner, talks with Eddie Thomas, and of course everybody in the world right now, and particularly I am sure in Wales, is wondering whether or not their young gladiator has been able to shake the effects, the impact of the left hook and the straight, hard right hand thrown by Milt McCrory. Here we go to round number 2. Colin Jones down from a hard, straight right hand. A good left hook preceded it. So now, Colin Jones I am sure most acutely aware of the fact that he's facing a little bit different kind of a fighter in McCrory. Milt tries the right. Jones comes back to the body with a good left hook dug just into the rib cage. Jones seems just fine. His only loss was to Curtis Ramsey of Portland, Oregon, and he lost that in Wales, believe it or not, as Ramsey was falling down, having been pummeled severely. Colin Jones hit him on the way down. They called it a foul, and the European rules being what they are, he lost the fight. So no one has really ever beaten him. McCrory trying to go to the body with the right hand. Jones is a deceptive sort of a fellow. His defense is much more effective than it might appear to the naked eye. And Milton McCrory became painfully aware of that in the middle going of their fight back in March. In fact, one of the prime strengths of Colin Jones, according to McCrory, is his defense. He's difficult to hit. But Milt sure did find him at the closing seconds of that first round with that straight right hand. Jones shows no marks. McCrory gets the right hand over the top and lands it alongside the head of Jones. Jones now parrying the McCrory right pretty well. Very, very hot day in Las Vegas. McCrory finds him with another right hand and the left hook to the side of the head. Milt throwing the greater number of punches, as again the Welshman is slow to get on track. A right hand over the top by Jones is just short. Milton McCrory, one of the quicker people in the 147-pound weight class. Very good fighter with his feet. Just inside the final minute of round number 2. Colin Jones down with 8 seconds to go in the first round from a straight right hand, and he has not done much here in the second round, though he appears to be totally recovered from the straight right that put him down. Pretty good left hand by Jones there to the side of the head of McCrory. Coming up on a half minute to go in round 2, scheduled for 12. Colin Jones covering well as McCrory tried to work him with the left and then come back with a left hook, and he couldn't get it in. Right is blocked by Jones. Jones a little more effective here in the last minute of the second round. But McCrory still throwing the greater number of punches in the fight. Round number 3 now. Colin Jones starting to come on in the final minute of the second round after being decked in the first round. The closing seconds. And the anxiety seems now to be gone from his corner as he is seemingly recovered from the left hook and right hand that put him down. McCrory staying busy. He has thrown far and away the greater number of punches. Colin Jones is wild. The referee is Isaac Herrera from Panama. It is a Latin panel of judges from Panama, Mexico, and Venezuela. This is for the WBC Welterweight Championship. The winner here succeeds the great Sugar Ray Leonard. There's the left hook again by McCrory. There's Emmanuel Stewart in the corner of Milt McCrory. Of course, one of the primary training partners and friend and stablemate of McCrory would be Thomas Hearn, who also works under the tutelage and management of Emmanuel Stewart. The right hand is picked off by Colin Jones that time, but it's the left by McCrory that is now beginning to redden the face of the Welshman. Jones now showing a bit of a mouse under the left eye. I think that's probably where that right hand landed. That put him down. He had voiced the opinion, Jones had, coming into the fight, that he didn't feel that there was a welterweight in the world that could put him down or really hurt him. And the feeling among a lot of us was that Milt McCrory, if in fact he did have an effective right hand and it was not hurting him, that he had to stand in and take a shot. He had to bang some with the Welshman in order to get his respect early in the fight, and he certainly did that. But now Colin Jones is beginning to fight the kind of a fight we saw him work with in Reno, Nevada last March. That right hand by McCrory telegraphed a bit and picked off by Jones. One of the trademarks of Emanuel Stewart's fighters that they all tend to leave that left hand low. And that obviously makes an inviting target for someone with a right hand lead, but most of them are so quick. Hearns and McCrory and many of the others that it's very difficult to get him. That right hand came over the top and he got Jones on the side of the head. But he didn't flinch on that one. Milton McCrory is dictating the pace of the fight so far here in round number 3 with 10 seconds to go. Through 3, it's McCrory's fight. Round 4 now of this WBC welterweight championship fight. Colin Jones of South Wales, Gorsiden on the left, or in the red trunks, and Milton McCrory in the goal. Milton McCrory dropped Jones with 8 seconds to go in the first round from a straight right hand that had followed a left hook and sort of set him up. Jones worked himself out of trouble in the second round, started to come on a little bit, but McCrory remains the pace setter of the fight and has thrown the greater number of punches and has been the most effective puncher. Colin Jones still not really out of the blocks yet and into his game plan of pressuring Milton McCrory and working to the body, trying to take away some of the foot speed. One of the things that, there's Tommy Hearns, the stablemate of Milton McCrory, who is at ringside and watching the fight, has helped prepare McCrory for this fight. One of the problems that Colin Jones has had throughout his career is he sort of fell in love with the idea that the big punch would carry him, and there were many times in which he won fights in the later rounds by relying on the big punch. But you're not going to get that with a Milton McCrory. He is not going to give you the big punch. You're going to have to search, and eventually, if you're fortunate, you might find it. But he is taller, he has the edge and reach, and he is the quicker of the two men. So the probabilities of a big punch against him are quite remote. Everybody felt that Milton McCrory was well ahead in the fight after 6 rounds in Reno in March. Sort of went flat in the 7th. Got a little tired at altitude there. And the Welshman came on like gangbusters, but McCrory went inside of himself and gutted it out in the 12th and actually won the 12th round, though 2 of the judges did call it even. But many people felt that McCrory had won it. And even Jones felt McCrory had won it, and he wound up a draw. Now the left hand of Colin Jones begins to find McCrory a little bit more. But Milt stays very busy. There's a good left hook. The big left hook by Colin Jones, far and away his best punch of the fight. The wild right misses badly. But that's the most effective punch of the fight so far by Colin Jones, of a short, chopping left hook. And it is lethal. He can take almost anybody down with it in this weight division. McCrory just missed. He had him set for the right, loaded it, and just missed with it. McCrory is not running, not dancing like he did in the first fight. He's saving himself, pacing himself. He ran out of gas. It is a hot day, 104 on the ring apron as we began. So here in round 4, Colin Jones gets one effective punch, a blistering left hook. Round number 5, scheduled for 12, WBC welterweight title fight. The winner succeeds Sugar Ray Leonard as the WBC 147-pound champion. Colin Jones now still showing the mouse under his left eye. He got that in the first round when he was downed from the straight right hand. This is for the WBC version of the 147-pound title. The WBA champion is Don Curry. And he goes against Roger Stafford, a man that Milton McCrory beat in Phoenix a year ago. That'll be September 3rd. It'll take place in Sicily, and it will be seen here on ABC television. Don Curry, undefeated out of Fort Worth, and Roger Stafford. That'll be a good one. Milt McCrory seemingly with the fight in hand right now. Colin Jones slow to get going. Eddie Thomas, the manager and trainer of Colin Jones, watching. Kenny Buchanan, perhaps the most celebrated of his previous charges. Though Howard Winston was also a champion under Thomas. There have been a lot of good fighters come out of Wales. Some of the names that you might remember: Jimmy Wilde, of course, one of the great all-timers, Tommy Farr, Joe Erskine, Jim Driscoll. A lot of good fighters out of that part of the world. Good left jab snapped into the face of McCrory by Colin Jones. Another good jab, stiff one. Colin Jones carries what fighters call heavy hands. That means he jars you when he hits you, even with a jab. We alert our local stations along the way that at the end of this round, we'll take a station break. This is round number 5, and we're inside a minute to go. No marks on McCrory. Little mouse under the left eye of Jones. Face quite red from the peppering. Jones steps in with that left hook. McCrory picked off part of it. Jones a little off balance when he throws that jab. He tends to twist his lead leg a bit when he throws it. So as a result, he is not terribly mobile after he's committed himself. That left hook high on the head, again partially deflected by McCrory. We'll be back with more of ABC's Wide World of Sports after this from our local stations. This is round 6. Now the question is whether or not Colin Jones will in fact begin to assert himself more. He was more aggressive in the 5th round. He has now bloodied the nose of Milton McCrory. He did that in the fight in Reno, and it caused Milt a little difficulty with his breathing in the late going. But the nose is bleeding again from the stiff left hand now that Colin Jones is starting to find him with, and he is landing it with authority. Hooks inside. McCrory ties him up. Blood on the face of the young man from Detroit. This fight amazingly following the pattern of the previous meeting. Hooked to the body by Jones. Though in this one, Jones was down in the 1st round from a wicked right hand. And now McCrory's nose bleeding quite badly. That can become a bother as fatigue begins to get control of you. And here in round 6, Jones beginning to show some disdain for the flicking left hand of McCrory, going at him more and more. Covers well. McCrory ties him. Again, the left hand of Colin Jones finds the bloody nose of McCrory. Milt has not thrown a right hand of any authority in some time. Not since actually the 2nd round. Relying pretty much on the left. I've seen no indication, no wince, no sign at all from McCrory that his right hand is again sore. He just simply has not been able to find the target with it. It is McCrory's blood now that stains the canvas. A bloody nose. Good right thrown right there by McCrory. And it caused Colin Jones to blink a bit. There's another right hand by McCrory as Jones was off balance from having missed with his own right, and McCrory now goes with a combination to the head. That's good. Coming up on 20 seconds to go in round number 6. McCrory quiet through the first half of this round, now finishing it with a flurry. There's that hard left by Jones. Another one. The combination was picked off by Jones. Corner and a bit of a smile on his face. I think he senses that McCrory may be at that lull in the fight. Perhaps he is getting tired in the heat of the Nevada summer. Right now, the confidence seems in the red corner, where Colin Jones sits. Though Emmanuel Stewart has not said much to Milton McCrory about fatigue. Let's see if we can pick up the conversation.
It's working a good fight. Keep the pace at where you want it to be at, right where you're boxing. You say, counter with that right hand after you let him miss.
Probably the most important thing that we heard there was challenge him with that right hand.
Knock that jab, looking good.
Milt looks fine. He's now got a little bit of a mouse that perhaps is developing under his, around his left cheek. But otherwise, he's unmarked outside of the bloody nose. Now Jones comes out quickly. Isaac Carrera, Panama, the referee, does not have a vote. 3 Latin judges will do the balloting. This is for the WBC welterweight championship. And Colin Jones now is busier. Let's see whether or not McCrory, who worked some combinations to the head in the closing minute of the 6th round, will be able to repeat it. Hard right hand by Jones. It jarred McCrory. The first solid right hand that Jones has been able to throw. He works now to the body. And McCrory tries to tie him up. Wants a little help from Herrera, but they break themselves. Isaac Herrera was the 3rd man in the ring of that memorable Bobby Chacon Bazooka Lamone fight we did up in Sacramento earlier this year, and he'll generally let him go at it. He's a very quiet referee, a good one. There's that left hand chopped to the jaw of McCrory. Colin Jones very busy here in round 7. He has landed one solid right hand to the head of McCrory in this 7th round. McCrory reeled off 5 straight, I would think. But since then, Jones has been very much in the hunt. That left hand snapping the head of McCrory again, and again the nose is bleeding. McCrory missed with that overhand right, but comes back trying to uppercut it, and it's blocked. And the confidence of the Welshman seems to grow. The hard left snapping the head of McCrory back again at a minute to go in round 7. McCrory would seem to me at about this point is going to need to stand with him and go with him. Hard right to the body. And Jones now pouring it on to McCrory. Jones' best moment in the fight. No question right here. Milt looks, for the moment, tired. He was stung by the right hand. McCrory, wobbly now, seeming to not be able to elude the left hand of Colin Jones. A left and a right by Jones with 20 seconds to go in the round. A left to the side of the head, a left to the body. Now it's Jones unloading on Milt McCrory. Hard left hook. McCrory's in trouble. He's in bad trouble. Jones drives him back into the ropes. McCrory can't tie him up. Jones is wailing away. 2-1. The round is over. McCrory just barely hanging. Go to the 8th round. The crowd is up. Jones almost took McCrory down in the closing minute of that 7th round. If McCrory has any speed left in his feet, now would be a very good time to use it, because Jones just whaled it in the final 60 seconds of the 7th round. It could very well have been a 2-point round for Colin Jones, which would make the fight very close again. He was utterly dominant in the 7th. McCrory now marked on the left side of his face. Jones is the pursuer, no question about it. McCrory needs to move, needs to find his 2nd win. Jones was scoring almost at will in the final minute of the 7th round. Can you imagine what the reaction would be if Colin Jones should take a world title back to South Wales? The last one they had over there was Winston. What a time they would have at the Working Men's Pub in Gorsinan, where times are tough. McCrory moving better here in round 8 than he did in 7. Jones is pursuing, but McCrory is eluding better here in round 8. More lateral movement out of McCrory. McCrory stopping, sticking for a moment, but nothing on his punches. Just busy stuff to ward off Colin Jones. He's trying to blunt his charge. He can get this round, get his win back in this round. Seemingly helping. There's that heavy left hand, but McCrory gets away from most of it. At long range, it is Milt's ball game. The nose is now bleeding again of McCrory. Jones is relentless. McCrory moving quite well. Jones drops his hand, weary of the pursuit for the moment. Snaps that left hand to the face of McCrory twice, both effective. Both missing with their rights. Jones puts his head on McCrory's shoulder and tries to bang the body, but Milt ties him up, and now, with 10 seconds to go, Milt looks tired again. We fought 8 rounds. Degree afternoon in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's gut check time for both fighters. Both of them have to be weary now. But Colin Jones turned aggressor in the 6th. He almost put McCrory down in the 7th. Milt had Jones down in the 1st round from a straight right hand. Even though Jones remains the pursuer, he is not throwing that many punches. He is not blunting the pencils of the officials. McCrory moving very well through the 8th round, getting his 2nd win. And he looks reasonably fresh here in the early going of round 9. We're scheduled for 12. They went 12 tough ones in March and wound up all even. This one is just as close, I think. Colin Jones, not a terribly mobile fighter, goes straight at his target. And he does it relentlessly. McCrory backing up. When you're backing up, it is a wearying process. We're halfway through round 9. You're not going to hurt Colin Jones backing up. McCrory needs to hurt him right here for his side of the bargain. As that left hand by Jones, McCrory is still yielding real estate. And when you're backing away, you don't have a lot of snap. Milt ties him up. Back comes Jones. There's that hard left by Jones. McCrory's throwing punches. Some are getting there, but there's not anything on him right now. Jones beat him to the punch with the left. That left hook almost got him. Just nipped his nose as it whistled by. McCrory's mouth is open now. That's another sign of fatigue. Hard left hook by Colin Jones. Rips a right to the body. And you've got 20 seconds to go in round 9. Best punch of this round by Colin Jones. McCrory going back dramatized the impact of the punch somewhat, but it was a solid left. Less than 10 seconds now. So we fought 9 rounds. And we will follow the Welshman, Colin Jones, into his corner. Dogged pursuit by Jones, starting to turn things a little bit in his favor. McCrory was in bad trouble in the 7th. Milt came out, stayed out of trouble in the 8th. There were very few punches thrown in the 8th round, not a whole lot in the 9th round, as McCrory again went to his bicycle. And you're not going to hurt a fighter normally when you are backing up like that. And late in the round, Jones found him with the left. You see now McCrory backing up, was a little bit off balance, reeled back into the ropes, excited the crowd. Not that much on it, perhaps, but still enough. You can see there, enough to knock McCrory off balance. And I think the expression on his face reflected clearly that he had felt the punch. So Eddie Thomas now ready to send the stocky, tough youngster, 24 years of age, son Simon, about a year and a half, wife Deborah, bought his house. He wants to go back to Wales a champion, and I'll tell you this, he's spending all that he brought. He's trying. It is now the question of whether or not McCrory's point balls in the first 5 rounds is going to be too much for Colin Jones to overcome. McCrory somewhere in this round, the 11th round or the 12th round, is going to have to reassert himself and do some scoring. McCrory going to the left side now, trying to confuse him, but it only got him in trouble with a straight right hand from Colin Jones, and the blood flows again from the nose of Milton McCrory. Milt goes back the other way. I think it was quickly determined for him that fighting southpaw is not the way to go, because he was walking right into the right hand of Colin Jones. McCrory moving. The right hand just missed by Jones. It was a bit wild. Comes back with a couple of lefts to the side of the head. McCrory tries to tie him up, and Colin Jones punishes him inside. McCrory came out bouncing and running and bicycling. And halfway point of the round, question now, will he lose some of that bounce, lose some of that energy in the last half of this round? Jones has been steadily stronger in the closing minute of round 6, 7, 8, and 9. This is number 10. Hard right hand by Milton McCrory. The best punch he has thrown in some time. And it stopped Colin Jones for a moment. But just for a moment. That's a hard left hook to the rib cage. The winner will be the WBC welterweight champion. The right hand to the side of the head of Colin Jones by McCrory. He needs to throw that right some more. He's got to plant himself, though, to put anything on it. Jones gets it off again first with the left hand. McCrory trying the right, but missing with it. Pummeling the head of the Welshman as Jones comes boring in. A little better round for Milton McCrory. He's stronger here in the last minute. There's the left hook by Jones, though. And over the last 3 rounds, he's been able to land that left hook in the final seconds of the round. Round 10 is over. McCrory, as he comes out for round number 11, took a big, deep breath and really a sigh as he came out. We're watching him closely because his corner is in the sun. And they flipped a coin to determine which fighter got which corner. He wound up in the blue corner, and the blue corner right now happens to be in the sun. I don't know how much hotter a body can get than it is already at 104, 105 degrees. Colin Jones continues to march steadily ahead, but Milton McCrory closed quite well in the last minute of the 10th round. This is number 11, scheduled for 12. Colin Jones has not been particularly effective in the last 2 rounds. He did get a big left hook late in round number 9. But McCrory was able to bicycle and run a little bit in rounds 8 and 9 and got him out of trouble after being pounded in the 7th. And he might well have picked off round number 10, but it's still very close. the left hook by Colin Jones. Didn't get all of it home. There are two doctors at ringside, Dr. Donald Romeo and Dr. Edwin Homansky. We passed the halfway point of round 11. Right hand just grazed the jaw of McCrory. Jones keeping that left in his face. Nose continuing to bleed. McCrory, again, his mouth open. We got a minute to go in round 11. McCrory now has gone just about a minute without throwing a punch. Seemingly trying at this juncture to stay out of trouble. Now he's about a half a minute to go. He needs a flurry. Easily said from down here, but with a tormentor boring in on you constantly as Jones is, it's pretty difficult. There's that left, and the left hook just again missed. Right over the top, not effective by Jones. Final seconds of round 11. We'll watch Milton McCrory go back to his corner in the sunshine with 1 round to go. 3 minutes for the WBC Welterweight Championship to become the successor of the great Sugar Ray Leonard.
Okay.
McCrory sort of sagged onto his stool.
You want to get inside?
A question of stamina, heart, guts, courage. Call it what you want. But it's about to come up. Across this 20-foot ring, Colin Jones staring at his man, Eddie Thomas, who's giving him the instructions for the final round. Coming up on ABC's Monday Night Baseball, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 6:30 right now. That's ABC's Monday Night Baseball. Coming up next Monday. And here, as they touch gloves for the final round of this WBC Welterweight Championship fight. Jones, dogged, determined. McCrory trying to fend him off. Very close fight. McCrory with a long left, missed with a right. I thought in March up in Reno, McCrory won the final round and came away with a draw. Though Milt thought he had won the fight. Colin Jones said he thought McCrory won the 12th round, and I'm sure it was in the back of his mind, and I'm sure that Eddie Thomas reminded him that he took the 12th from you in Reno to get a draw. Don't let him have it this time. The winner of this round could well win the fight. McCrory chops a right hand and follows with a left hook to the side of the head. But inside, normally it's going to be Colin Jones getting the edge. He's shorter, and he's very strong. McCrory wrapped by a left hook. McCrory fighting in an upright position. Left himself exposed for a moment, and Jones tagged him with that left hand. Inside, Colin Jones able to put his head right on the shoulder of McCrory, and he is pounding away at McCrory's body. And now Milt with a little flurry. Right hand by Colin Jones. McCrory with a right hand. And that stung Colin Jones. McCrory now with a flurry. You got a minute 5 to go. McCrory with another flurry, and he hurt Colin Jones with a right hand. Another right hand by McCrory. Two game kids, I'll tell you. McCrory trying a right hand lead, not effective that time. Colin Jones steps in close again where he can pummel the body and nullify the reach of Milton McCrory. Jones pounding away inside. Half a minute to go. Uppercut by McCrory. Good. Jones comes right back and pounds the body. 15 seconds. Colin Jones keeping him pinned on the ropes. Banging away. It's over. Tommy Hearns, Billy Hearns, both corners now spilling into the ring. Both fighters being lifted. Colin Jones nose blooded in that final exchange at the bell. Milton McCrory being held up, closed with a flurry. Had his troubles 7, 8, and 9, but came on very, very strong in the final round. But Jones able to nullify the reach advantage of McCrory in the 12th round by keeping him pinned pretty much on the ropes and working inside. But still, I guarantee you it'll be a close call for the WBC welterweight title. All right, here's the call for the WBC welterweight championship. The ring announcer is Chuck Hull.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision. Judge Ray Solis scores 115 McCrory, 114 Jones. Judge Angel Tovar scores 114 Jones, 113 McCrory. And Judge Anselmo Escobedo scores 115 to 111 for the winner by a split decision and new welterweight champion of the world, Milton McCrory.
Milton McCrory from Detroit, Michigan gets the split decision call over Colin Jones. 115-114 from one of the judges, 114-113 Jones, and Escobedo had it 115-113, 114 for McCrory. The edge going to McCrory, and so Milton McCrory out of the Kronk Boxing Club from Detroit, Michigan, in his second try, wins the World Boxing Council welterweight championship. But what a pair of battlers these two young people are. They went 12 rounds last March, wound up all even. They come back today. They go 12 hard rounds on a blistering hot afternoon in Las Vegas, and it is a split decision. They hugged each other. They congratulated each other, and suddenly there was your call with Milton McCrory getting the call, and he is the WBC welterweight champion.
26 by knockout. Collins with punching power, has the speed, Simpson very strong, and has a dangerous